Hello, my name is Tim Crofton, and at Just Desserts we are cooking sweet things from every country in the world. I like to cook, I've travelled a lot, so join us as we eat. Hello everybody and good morning, lovely to see you. What are we doing today? We're off to Botswana. In South Africa. Now you might say, for a second, you've already done Botswana, and you would be right, but there was a tiny bit of an issue. I was going to do Swaziland, but through my research and actually speaking to pals on the World Wide Web, there really was only one dessert for Swaziland, and that is malva pudding. And I'd made malva pudding for Botswana, and that's almost next door. There's a little slither of South Africa in between, but it's of that region. So what I had to do, I hope I'm not boring you, but what I had to do is I had to make the malva pudding for Swaziland, and so today I'm going to make a different Botswanan dessert. But before we do it, mesdames, messieurs, you please make sure you sign up for Facebook at Tim Crofton Just Desserts, or at YouTube at Just Desserts Tim Crofton. There's also Instagram, and we have a blog too. You'll see them all at the end of the video, but also down below. So please follow us, like us, love us, loathe us, or do a bit of both, whatever you fancy. Okay, so what we're going to make today are what are called lemon and condensed milk biscuits. Very simple, but maybe before we get cooking, because I haven't really done an awful lot of biscuits, there is a terminology thing here, because if you're American or even Canadian, I think, if I remember correctly, a biscuit is something completely different than England, and I'm guessing all those fortunate countries that got to be under imperial rule. I'm being very tongue-in-cheek there, but the English sure left their mark around the world. Well, including me, I guess. But a biscuit in England is what in America would be called a cookie. So we're going to be making lemon and condensed milk cookies. In England, the equivalent of what is a biscuit in America. A biscuit in America is something it's quite southern, I think, and you dollop white gravy over it, and you maybe, I'm not sure what goes with it, but it's like what in England it would be called a scone, I think. A scone without raisins, because the raisins have all gone. But it would be that would be the equivalent of a biscuit in England, but we call it a scone. It's all very, very confusing. I do beg your parsnips. Okay, so let's get going with the lemon condensed milk scone biscuit slash cookie. Beg your pardon. Oh, it's all going a bit wacky here. We're going to put it in very simple palette of ingredients, but we are going to use the mixer today. First off, we are going to use, funnily enough, some condensed milk. Okay, into the condensed milk, I'm going to put half a cup of sugar. In you go. And I'm going to put a stick of butter, so 8 ounces of butter. So we've basically gone 50-50 with the butter and the condensed milk slash sugar. Okay, I'm going to, do you know, I'm supposed to mix, I'm just going to put everything in. I should really cream it, but I'm just going to live dangerously today. This is 2 3/4 cups of flour. In you go. I'm going to put a pinch of salt. Never really knew what a pinch of salt was for a long time, but it's when you put your 3 fingers together and as much as you can pick up. is what I've discovered. We're then going to get our lemon for that lemon component, and we're going to put half a teaspoon of lemon rind, and then we will put about half a teaspoon of lemon juice, which doesn't sound like an awful lot, but you do get a lot of flavour from the rind, I find. And then that is at least a half a teaspoon. Oh! Didn't see that, did you? Half a teaspoon of lemon juice. So 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Now that's quite a lot of baking powder. I think that what it suggests to me is that it's going to puff up rather like, I guess, a scone. That is the stove reaching 325 degrees, which is what we're going to cook these cookies slash bickies at for about 12 minutes. But first of all, we are going to do some mixing, and then we'll be ready to bake. Okay, so there's our mixed dough. It's quite powdery, just to let you know, so you don't feel like you've done something wrong. What you're going to do next is you're going to take quite a small amount. You're going to take about a teaspoon, which I think that's about a teaspoon, and you are going to make them into little balls of dough. I did it, and you probably saw that I started squashing down with a fork, and as I mentioned earlier, that it's quite a dry dough. So when I put the full force, like when you make a peanut butter cookie, it sort of explodes. So I don't recommend a full squish, just a slight flattening out. But there they are. Oh, just it cracked open. It was like it just, I don't know what it was. These are going to go in the oven at 325 for between 12 and 15 minutes, and they should be ready. So let's get them in. In you go. Okay, that's 15 minutes, and here they go. Okay. Well, maybe I'll take the top one off first. Having second. There we go. There's one. And they are, I promise you, brown on the bottom. These definitely are browner. Yes. As you know, it's always better to let things cool down, but I'm going to give one of these a go. Let me see, has it held together? Yeah, not badly. I'm a tiny bit bamboozled by the actual texture of the dough. It seems to be a little bit on the dry side, and as I say, as you can see, some of them have definitely fallen apart, but let's get the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the trying, so let's have a go. Oh, it's lovely. It's like a, well, obviously it's a butter cookie, but the lemon really does sing in this. Very tasty. And I think will get only better when it cools down. Supposedly you can, if you want to, you don't have to, but you can sprinkle the cookies with a little bit of extra icing slash confectioner's sugar. But quick and easy, well worth a go. These are Botswana-Lemon condensed milk Biscuits from Botswana. Thanks for visiting. Don't forget to like us and love us on social media, and we'll see you again. We'll be back to the S's next time. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.